All right, here we go on another edition of Voice of Reason. It is Media Day here at the Chickies in Petersfield on the beautiful Wells Fargo Center Pavilion, South Philadelphia. Jake Schwartz again for Voice of Reason, back here with one of my favorite guests. And he's been quite a regular here on Voice of Reason as the Philadelphia Soul will look to become the three-time AFL champions, as for the first time in franchise history will defend their title right here on their home base. With me now is one of my favorite guests, Dan Raunebaugh, the gunslinger from the West. Or I should say from the East, actually, because this is an Eastern Conference, but really this is just an Eastern team. Dan, how are you, buddy? How are you feeling? 24 hours from now, you could be waking up as the three-time AFL champions.
Yeah, feeling good. That's what it's about. At our place, it's going to be a live atmosphere. We're prepared, had a good week of practice, so go out here and cut it loose tomorrow night.
Well, tomorrow night is certainly the night I think a lot of people have been waiting for. And I think everybody that's anybody has gathered here tonight. We're not just here again for Media Day. Today is also the day of Awards Day. Following Media Day, we'll proceed over to, I guess, not even 90 feet over where we are, where the set is. And players like yourself will be presented with different type of awards. What's the thing you're looking forward to about tonight?
It's just a way to congratulate and reward, not just players, but families and ownership groups and everyone involved in this wonderful game of arena football. It takes a big sacrifice, and it's just a way to give back to the people and reward them for their effort and their time.
Well, I understand that you could be getting something very special tomorrow. If you get, I hear, up to 250 yards, you'll, I think, over 40,000 passing yards. Is that correct? Or am I?
I'm not even sure, man.
You're not even keeping track of that, are you?
No, I'm not. That sounds like a lot. I think,
that is, yeah.
But, whatever it takes, one at a time.
Well, it's 1 versus 2 in the AFL Championship. Now, what can we expect tomorrow night with most likely a sellout crowd on hand?
You're going to see soul football. You're going to see stinging defense, hopefully efficient offense with explosive plays mixed in throughout the game as usual. You're going to see good clock management on our part. And then special teams are going to have to be special. They've got one of, if not the greatest kicker in the history of this game, who can really manipulate the game with his onside kicks. So it's going to take 60 minutes or more, but it'll be a blast.
All right, Dan, good luck, of course, tomorrow. We'll definitely check in with you again. Dan Raunebaugh on another edition here, Voice of Reason. We'll definitely check out more. It's Media Day again here at the Wells Fargo Center, Chickies in Petersfield. I'm Jake Schwartz here again for Voice of Reason. All right, back here again at the Chickies in Petersfield, and one of my favorite guests. Well, actually, I haven't met him officially, but I go back a long way as far as mutualistic friends. Derek Brooks, the president of the Tampa Bay Storm. You might remember him as All-Pro Tampa Bay linebacker Derek Brooks. Hello, Derek.
Hello. Glad you have us here today.
Good to see you, by the way. And let's also bring in another gentleman right here, the head man of Tampa Bay Storm, as the Philadelphia Soul looking to defend their title for the second time in franchise history, or I should say third time in franchise history, but out to spoil the fun is Ron James, the Tampa Bay Storm. First-year head coach. Ron, it's good to have you here on Voice of Reason. Good to meet you. I actually, there's been a lot of guests of mine that I've had on this show, but you're one of the first people I've ever actually met, so I'm definitely happy to have you.
Well, thanks. Good to meet you as well.
Yes, and tomorrow night, 24 hours from now, is going to be big. You've got a sellout crowd that's certainly expected on hand. What are we expecting with this type of atmosphere? You've had a great run this season against the Philadelphia Soul, so what are we expecting?
We're expecting our best game of the year. I mean, that's what we're keyed up for, and hopefully we put that thing together tomorrow night. But really, it's going to be a great atmosphere, and Arena Bowls are all about who takes care of the ball the best and who has the ball last sometimes.
Again, you're in your first year as head coach at Tampa Bay. How many years officially have you been working in the Arena Football League?
About 20th season.
20 seasons. And what has been the best part? What have you learned, I guess, being with the difference of AFL to NFL to any type of – because as they always say, football is football.
You're exactly right. I mean, you got to block, you got to tackle, you got to throw the ball, you got to catch it, all the things that you normally have to do, with the difference of having the uprights and having the field a smaller dimensions. So coaching has to be a little bit more precise, but, it's a different game, and we love it.
What's it like having a guy like Derek Brooks as your boss, the All-Pro?
Oh, it's been phenomenal. We've got a great relationship, and we've worked hard in the offseason to put together a great team. So that's what we're looking forward to seeing tomorrow night, and hopefully that comes together.
Tomorrow night, Derek, you're a man that knows a thing or two about championships, so we're going to wrap this up because we know we're getting the hook because we got to make our way to the award ceremony. But, Derek, you've been in this city for many, many years. I should say you have a good thing of experience. Back in 2002, you helped close out Veterans Stadium just a block away. What's going to be the best part about trying to spoil the fun for the Soul's bid for another championship?
Well, I hope to lean on that history a little bit tomorrow night, but our team has earned the right to be here. And as Coach James said, we're looking to have the perfect execution tomorrow for a lot of hard work this offseason. We deserve the right to be here, and we know it's going to be a tall task, but we're up for the challenge.
Only 5 teams started the regular season. Only 2 again remain. It's Tampa Bay and Philadelphia Soul tomorrow night right here. Wells Fargo Center. Derek Brooks, as always, we appreciate your time. Ron James, pleasure to meet you, and we'll see you again tomorrow night. So for another edition of Voice of Reason, again, we want to thank, this is Jake Schwartz again from the Wells Fargo Center, the Chickies in Pete's Field. I want to thank our guest, Dan Rodham, the quarterback of the Philadelphia Soul, and in a shortened type interview, Derek Brooks and Ron James, the head football coach, excuse me. Boy, I'm sorry, speaking tongue-tied. Ron James, the first-year coach. Well, he's 1 for 1 and making it to AFL playoff type of play. We'll see again, as mentioned, hopefully get more interviews after this. But right now, we're going to take our time to the awards ceremony because now it is time for awards time. And this is where we get the best around. I'm Jake Schwartz again for Voice of Reason. All right, let's listen in, by the way. It's Arena Football Awards Ceremony, so we're going to listen in again. It's the AFL Awards Show and Media Day here at Wells Fargo.
Number 2, probably what we all expected when it all kicked off in April. You can't say enough about what both these teams have done to get here. Play a little did you know, perhaps. The Soul are the 6th team in AFL history to lead the league in scoring and points allowed. 2 teams have posted perfect seasons at home that have included an Arena Bowl victory. San Jose in 2002 and Grand Rapids in 2001 with a guy named Dolzell at quarterback. Also, did you know, if Tampa Bay wins, they'd be the first franchise to hold 6 Foster trophies, and their 14-year wait between championships would be the 2nd longest among multiple-time winners of the title. And, another did you know, there are 17 All-Arena players who will be on the field tomorrow night, including 14 of the 18 first teams. And the place you're sitting right now, the Wells Fargo Center, the 19th different Arena Bowl venue, the 8th in the last 8 years, and Philadelphia is the 17th city to host the Arena Bowl. So certainly a lot of milestones, a lot of great stuff around this team. And don't forget, coming up in a little bit, we're going to tell you who the MVP is. Will it be a quarterback? Will it be a jack? Will it be a Mac? Will it be a defensive back? Will it be a kicker? Probably not, but we'll see. Should be very interesting. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce the commissioner of the Arena Football League. Who's done a tremendous job revitalizing, rejuvenating this league, and certainly deserves a big round of applause. The commissioners.
Okay, part 2 of Voice of Reason's coverage. It's Media Day and AFL Awards ceremonies here at the Wells Fargo Center, and it's my pleasure to welcome back one of my favorite guests here at Voice of Reason, the gunslinger, I should say the head honcho here at the Philadelphia Soul, my good buddy Clint Dolzell. Hello, Coach. Good to see you again, as always.
Good to see you, too. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's always a pleasure, and great to see you. And today, the AFL Awards Show was underway, as well as Media Day. Today, we've learned something very special, that, one, the roads lead here in South Philadelphia, and for the first time in franchise history, you will defend your title against a team that a lot of people are saying could pose a big type of challenge. What are you looking forward to in a game against Tampa Bay?
No, there's no doubt they can pose a challenge. They gave us good games all year long. They've got veterans at the right spot. They got a great quarterback. They got the best receiver, arguably in the league, and Ings and a return guy as well. So sure. They have tools, so they definitely can sneak up and beat you.
Well, Dan Rodham, I brought this up with him earlier. He definitely said that he's expecting a great crowd. He's expecting a great atmosphere. And by 7 o'clock tomorrow night, there could be nothing. This could be standing room type of only. What are you looking forward to in moments like this?
Home field advantage. That's what we're looking for. I mean, we're looking for a rowdy, loud crowd to make a lot of noise and give their offense. Yeah, give them trouble on offense. I mean, it's hard to hear in these arenas, and people don't understand how much the crowd makes a big difference.
A lot of great awards tonight. The assistant coach goes to your assistant, Coach Phil Bogle. What a big impact he's been to you.
He is. I mean, he's one of my best friends too. I mean, we're
probably
really
a
good along.
man.
There's no question. That's what I mentioned. The award. He definitely deserved it. He does a lot on and off the field that people don't even see. So, well-deserved award for Phil Bogle.
And Bo Bell racking up 2 awards as well. The commissioner Starters Award, as well as the I think it was the Defensive Player of the Year award. Is that correct?
It was.
And
yeah.
how fitting was it for a guy like Bo?
Well, I mean, he works hard. I mean, that guy's a coach. He's not only one of our best players, he's one of our coaches, too. I mentioned only 2 of our coaches. I've got about 10, 15 veterans that are coaches, too, that help me out in players. So, well-deserved, and there couldn't get a better person to get it than him.
I only wish the Coach of the Year went to you. Clint Dolezel, we appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you again 24 hours from now. Soul defend their title here at the Wells Fargo Center.
Thanks.
Thank you, Coach Clint Dolezel. Hopefully we'll try to bring it again. Rod Jaworski in a few moments again. Jake Schwartz here in another edition of Voice of Reason. All right, back here again at the Chickies and Pete's Field of the Wells Fargo Center in South Philadelphia, and it is a pleasure to be joined by new AFL Most Valuable Player and Offensive Player, Tampa Bay Storm QB Randy Hippert. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's good to talk to you finally, because I'm used to seeing you high up in the booth, actually, or I should say high up in the press box. But tonight we get a chance to see you. You're not much taller than I am.
I got you by a few inches.
I think maybe about
a few inches now.
Oh, but you know what, though? This year was certainly a great year. Number 2 seed overall. Looking for this, I believe, 6th title in the 14-year history. You're out to spoil the fun against the defending champion Philadelphia Soul. What can we expect for tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great competition all around. We're going to come out swinging. I'm sure they are too. It's the last game of the year. You can't hold anything back, so I think we're both just going to go and let the chips fall where they may.
I think Dan Fouts pretty much let you. Can we take credit for Dan Fouts saying last game of the year? Because we know we use that a lot, right?
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah. You can take
Dan
credit
Fouts
for
was
it.
the water boy.
Oh,
No.
okay.
But in all seriousness, though, tomorrow night is a big night again, as mentioned. You and Dan Rodema are considered 2 of the best quarterbacks, not just, well, at one time you had your own conference, but now you're 2 of the best quarterbacks in all of football. What can you say about people like him and the staff of the Philadelphia Soul?
Unbelievable. Dan's been in this league a little bit longer than I have, So when I was growing up in this game and trying to learn this game, he's one of the guys I would watch to try to learn from. And just to be mentioned in that category is a real honor for me.
Yeah, and tomorrow night, again, as mentioned, you'll look to try to make it 6 titles in the 14-year history to work for a guy like Ron James and a guy like Derek Brooks, who, of course, I brought this up with him 15 years ago. He closed out Veterans Stadium. Do you feel like history could repeat itself for a guy? Derek Brooks has seen stuff like this. Could history repeat itself again 24 hours from now?
Yeah, just the prestige that this program has had even in the past, it's something we're trying to get back to. And to bring a 6th title back to Tampa Bay, it would be very exciting for us.
Yeah, and you'll, again, play in a very hostile type of environment. Are you ready for that type of experience? Because I know you've been in this before.
Yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't come here if we weren't.
Randy Hippert, again, we appreciate you stopping by. And I think, I guess he's getting a wet willy right now. Can we allow that, by the way? Are we allowed to talk about that? Randy Hippert, again, good luck tomorrow night. We'll see you again 24 hours from now.
I appreciate
Randy
it.
Randy Hippert, again, another edition of Voice of Reason. Okay, back here again at the Chickies and Pete's Field here at Wells Fargo Center in South Philadelphia. Jake Schwartz for Voice of Reason, and it's a pleasure to be joined by Scott Butera, Stuart Admeth. Stuart Admeth, the one half of the majority owners of the Philadelphia Soul, and it is a pleasure to be joined by our commissioner, Scott Butera. Gentlemen, welcome. It's great to see both of you again. And tomorrow night, 24 hours from now, what a matchup we're going to see. Commissioner, we'll start with you as a man who has had 30 years of experience. Well, this is the 30th year the AFL has had existence. Can you think of anything better like Philadelphia?
No, Philadelphia is a tremendous city. You just see it in every venue, whether it's the NFL draft or all the things they host here. And this Arena Bowl is just going to be a packed crowd and nothing but screaming fans who love the sport. So we love being in Philadelphia. Obviously, a tremendous team, a lot of great history, great ownership, great coaching, and they have a good opponent. So yes. I think we're going to have a real exciting show tomorrow. It should be one of our best Arena Bowls ever. Well,
we definitely look forward to with the 1 versus 2, and we haven't had that in quite a while. How many officially years have you been the commissioner of the AFL?
Well, it's actually my 4th Arena Bowl, but my first one was right after I joined, so 3rd full year.
And what can you expect about a matchup like tomorrow? 2 top quarterbacks, Randy Hippert, Dan Rodema. They've been at it all year long. Are we expecting good things in tomorrow night's matchup?
How could you not? I think it's going to be good in so many regards. I think you've got some of the finest athletes on the field, some of the best coaches. I think you see some amazing plays, some clutch plays. So many of our games this year came right down to the wire. Philadelphia was involved in a lot of them and prevailed in most, I guess all but one. But But I think have tremendous on the field, but also off the field. What you're going to see in these seats is going to be outstanding as well. I think, like I said, the Philadelphia fans, certainly know the sport. They love their team. They root hard for their team. We brought some new ways to watch the game in terms of how you're going to see coverage media-wise with ref cams and things like that. So it's going to be a whole new experience, and it's going to be tremendous.
All right, Scott Butero, thank you again. We appreciate you stopping by. Let's bring in the next guest again here on Voice of Reason, our buddy Stuart Anmuth, the one half of the many owners of the Philadelphia Soul. And Stu, I can honestly say that I'm blown away by what I've seen. In my second official year covering AFL football, I really have never seen anything like this, along with Ron Jaworski and Pete Saraki of Chickies and Pete's. What an incredible event this is going to be 24 hours from now.
We are so excited, one, to have it in our hometown, Philadelphia. I'm born and bred Delaware County guy right outside of Philadelphia.
You look like one.
And let me tell you, we are so excited to have this place going to be rocking. Philadelphia, we have passion here. We're passionate sports fans. And to have the AFL and the Arena Football Championship here, the Arena Bowl, we are so excited. And the Philly fans will be loud. There's no doubt.
And you definitely think that we will have about a 16,000 type of crowd tomorrow night. Maybe even more.
I think it could be more. We're going to be packed. This house is going to be rocking. There's no doubt.
Well, let's hopefully we're going to be joined in a few moments by your other partner, Pete Saraki. What was the biggest decision of I guess, being in a purchase with a team like the Philadelphia Soul? Again, you're a Philadelphia guy. You grew up in this town your whole life. So what do the Philadelphia Soul have? I was just reading about this in the stat line that this is actually the winningest program in Philadelphia sports history. Since 2004, in 13 years. What do you say about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, I'm a diehard Philadelphia sports fan. With all the sports teams, and have an opportunity to be involved in an ownership and an organization like the Philadelphia Soul. The sport itself is so exciting, and the future is so bright for us with everything we're doing. And to be able to be part of the ownership group with Ron Jaworski, Craig Spencer, one of the founders of the Philadelphia Soul, Pete Cheraki, Cosmo, and Marcus Colson. We have so many others, Dick Vermeil. Great crew. And we're real excited, and the passion's there, and just an honor to be able to become part of that. It was an opportunity I wouldn't pass up to be part of Philadelphia.
There are two top quarterbacks in the AFL that are going to face one another, Dan Ronnebaugh, Randy Hippert. Of course, Randy winning the AFL MVP. Are you psyched to see that type of head-to-head matchup tomorrow? Because it could be a shootout from the second the ball is kicked off.
Absolutely. It always plays where when the two best are playing against each other, the two best teams are playing against each other, it's going to be a wonderful matchup. It will be a hard-fought game, and hey, I wish the best for Tampa Bay, but I'd like for us to come up on top.
All right, Stu Anmuth again, and our commissioner again, Scott Butero. We thank you again for joining us on another edition of Voice of Reason. Gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. Good luck, Stu, tomorrow. Scott, thank you again for joining us. AFL commissioner, tomorrow night, 24 hours from now. Oh, what a matchup it's going to be. Number 1, Philadelphia Soul. Number 2, Tampa Bay Storm. The champs will look to keep going. Gentlemen, thank you again. Good luck tomorrow night, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, for our final guests of the night here on Media Day and AFL Award Show here at the Wells Fargo Center, thank you again to the Philadelphia Soul for another exciting day at the Wells Fargo Center. They just put together incredible work, and 24 hours from now, these two gentlemen who join us could be standing atop as winners for the second consecutive year, and the third time in, I want to say, about 7, maybe 8 years, or at least since 2011. Cosmo De Nicola, one of the co-majority owners of the Philadelphia Soul, and all-pro wideout Marcus Colson, also a majority owner of the Philadelphia Soul. Gentlemen, welcome to Voice of Reason. Marcus, we'll start with you. First off, good to see you as always. And today we had a great day here at the Wells Fargo Center, recognizing the best of talents from past and present, and just really getting ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great event. Really getting a chance to honor the work that these organizations from top to bottom have put in, and just a first-class event to kick off. What's going to be a good game tomorrow.
Well, what a night it's going to be. And a great weekend as well. Cosmo, let's bring you in for a second. You're a Philadelphian. You grew up, but we actually heard you talk earlier tonight. Had a really nice speech to say. Like me, you grew up in this city. With this weekend, with the world champion Chicago Cubs are coming in, we've got a lot of great stuff going on. And our thoughts and prayers for those who are in Texas. We're glad we're not affected by that hurricane. But tonight, or I should say tomorrow, should be just as good a day as today. I mean, it's just the crowd that's in here. It's only going to get louder.
Well, Philadelphia is a football town, and we're proud to have, 3 championships since 2008.
That's right.
So this is our 5th opportunity to go for a 3rd championship, and right now the players are ready, the coaching staff is ready, the city is ready.
Yes.
There's a lot of buzz in the city right now to be in a championship game in Philadelphia and bring something like that to the city, the home of Rocky and all the wonderful things that have happened.
Yeah.
Really makes this a very special weekend, and the most special part of it is really sharing with people, let them learn a little bit more about arena football so we could build on the success and the momentum that we have going into this year.
Well, you're a big football guy, if I remember, Cosmo. What was it like watching a guy, because I know I was a big fan of him, but what was it like watching a guy like Marques Colston play in the NFL?
Well, you know what? He has jewelry, and
yes,
he has a couple of rings. He has an AFL ring, and of course, he has a Super Bowl ring.
What year, Marques?
Last year with the Soul.
I didn't know you played with this. You were.
He was on it, part of the ownership group.
Yes.
We could have used him at times.
Well, I was going to say, because he had a fabulous career, and I'm going to talk with you, Marques, in a few minutes about that, but watching a guy like him, and how big is it to have him now as one of the owners of this team?
Well, you know what? He's a winner. He's a very serious man. He takes his job very seriously, and his job is, not only playing on a field and performing, but it's taking care of your body, having a sense of responsibility to community, and he's really a real deal, and he's a fine gentleman, and he's added a lot of strength to our ownership group, and, he's a positive influence to the players, because at the end of the day, it's about the players and what they do on the field, and he's a great role model for them.
Marques, these days we can find you, and we'll actually say goodbye to Cosmo. We thank him for joining us. Tell everybody out there at Voice of Reason, the internet, what you're doing these days besides working with the Philadelphia Soul.
Obviously, this time of year, the Philadelphia Soul is what takes up a good amount of the day, and just being a resource as much as possible for the organization.
Are you doing anything with the NFL these days?
No, I've
really?
been retired for a year.
You had a fabulous. I want to go on record state. I was a pretty big fan of you and what you did in the National Football League. The years you spent with New Orleans with Drew Brees. In fact, thanks to people like yourself, I won three. We'll let it go. I won a lot of money on and I don't usually bet, but it was like a friendly neighborhood pool. Well, I bet on the New Orleans Saints to win that Super Bowl and went around my neighborhood yelling "Who Dat Nation," if you know what I mean. But you did have a great career, and now you've built, certainly along with many of the other majority owners, you've built a successful franchise here in this city. Why tomorrow night can the Philadelphia Soul repeat as champions?
Well, it's interesting, coming from the player role. It really has very little to do with me, and what these guys have been able to accomplish, the sacrifices that they've made. The way that they play the game together, the way the coaching staff has prepared them, they're ready for this spotlight, and we're hoping it's going to be a really bright spotlight here in the city, and being able to host a championship game here, and we're just excited to get the ball kicked off.
Well, tonight we also had the award ceremony, and a lot of great Tampa Bay and Soul members winning, including the Commissioner's Award to Bo Bell, the assistant coach to Phil Bogle, the MVP goes to Randy Hippard. So this was definitely well represented for both of these teams, really racking up the AFL awards. So does this possess a good challenge on both sides?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the matchup that should be in the championship game. It's the best two teams in the league. Like you said, they're well represented in the awards, and it's an organization here that has a lot of pride and a lot of history, and Tampa Bay is the same. And we're ready for the challenge, and it should be a good game.
Well, I know you got places to go and people to talk with. Marques Colston, Cosmo De Nicola, we appreciate you stopping by on Voice of Reason. Good luck tomorrow night. 24 hours from now, the Soul will defend their title at home here in Wells Fargo. We appreciate, again, Marques stopping by. Again, the man from Who Dat Nation. Thank you again.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, Marques Colston, Cosmo De Nicola here on Voice of Reason. Jake Schwartz again here at the Wells Fargo Center here at Chickies and Pete's Field. Okay, for another edition of Voice of Reason, this is Jake Schwartz again here at the Wells Fargo Center, and it was certainly a great day here at both the Media Day for Arena Bowl 30, 24 hours. Again, as mentioned, from now, the Philadelphia Soul, for the first time in franchise history, will defend their AFL championship, but it will be at home. Now, of course, the Soul have been here twice in their life, and since 2008, the Soul will look to make it 3 AFL championships. They won last year and a few years before that, as the Philadelphia Soul are well represented said, with AFL awards, the Commissioner Award going to Bo Bell, and Defensive Player going to Bo Bell, Offensive Player going to Randy Hippert of the Tampa Bay Storm. We want to thank all of them for joining us. Tampa Bay President Derek Brooks, the All-Pro linebacker, joined us as well. We want to thank Ron James, Tampa Bay coach, and Clint Dolzell, the Philadelphia Soul coach. We thank them again, as mentioned, for joining us. We want to also thank the Commissioner Scott Patera and Stu Anmeth, Stu Anmeth joined us as well, one of the majority owners. And Marcus Colston, another All-Pro wide receiver, joined us as well. We want to thank again everybody for joining us. So for another edition of Voice of Reason, this has been a presentation again of the 2017 edition of AFL Media Day. I'm Jake Schwartz saying so long from the Wells Fargo Center here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We'll see you all again tomorrow night in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Seoul will defend their title against Tampa Bay.